Today I wanted to take a minute to talk about what is in my bag. This is a common conversation between travel photographers and people who just like to travel a lot, so I figured I'd take a second and show you how I pack for warmer climates. Oh, a bathing suit. Scarves. Never have enough. Okay. Actually, we're really gonna talk about what I carry. So first off is duffel bag. So generally I try to pack in one duffel bag, even if me and Emily are both traveling together. Everything except for camera gear goes in this bag. And I'm not going to go into too much detail on what's in here, but just a couple things that you have to have. So again, remember, this is for a warmer climate, so you're not going to see a lot of big jackets or anything. It's just like staple items that I bring into warmer climates to shoot. So this is Eddie Bauer duffel bag. Now, the reason I take Eddie Bauer is because lifetime warranty. They replace these when they mess up. All bags wear out after a while. So there's an Eddie Bauer right across the street from where I live, and so anytime a bag breaks on me or something happens to it in the airport, I walk in and I walk out with a new bag, and I'm not spending any money. All right, so first off, shoes. I like to stay active while I travel. So sometimes I get really antsy if I'm not riding a bike or working out or something. So I like to take running shoes. Second of all, I'm not going to go through all my clothes, but just some basics again for warmer climate. Is I like to take these Columbia PFG shirts. Now I use them for hiking as well and just being outside because in warmer climates it helps keep the sun off. And it also keeps mosquitoes off at night, so you don't have to spray a bunch of bug spray on you. Teva hiking sandals. These are fantastic. Yes, they're kind of dad shoes, but they're kind of amazing. I like these because I can hike in them, I can wear them to the beach, I can do anything, and they're super lightweight, so packing, especially 2 people in a small bag, this works really, really great. Another thing is Columbia Ridgeline pants. Now, they're zip-offs, which makes it great for hiking. Again, this material is really lightweight, and they dry really fast when they get wet. So I always take these with me. I don't necessarily wear them every day, but I like to have them on hand when I need them. I like to take a hammock. I don't always use it, but we have Grand Trunk hammocks. They're the bigger size, so you can really stretch out in them and enjoy yourself. Now, getting into photography gear, I carry an Osmo. I generally throw that in the duffel bag, so I'm not too worried about that. Another thing is I carry this Lowepro, I believe it's called a Lowepro Passport. Now, in this, I carry all my chargers that I need for everything. I carry a headlamp or a spare headlamp. I carry extra batteries. I carry a USB portable battery charger for phones and devices, which is really, really handy. Extra drone batteries and so on. Now this is great because when I get there, I can unpack this and I can carry this as a day bag if I don't want to carry my big backpack. I also have a Lowepro photo runner, and here is, I don't even know if they make these anymore, but this is where I keep my drone. So Mavic Pro goes in this, it fits perfectly, it's well protected. I have no problem putting it in my duffel bag. And I generally try to pack my clothes around it just as a little extra protection. But again, I can take this out, repack it how I need to once I get there. Okay, so in my camera bag, this goes with me on the plane. The reason being is because this is all my camera gear and I'm traveling to photograph. So if my duffel bag doesn't make it, it's not a big deal. If this doesn't make it, it's a big deal. So this always stays with me. Now, this is the Lowepro Protactic, I think it's 450 AW. So this is weatherproof. It's really cool because if it rains, I have a rain guard that is attached that folds out and goes over it, which is great. Now I really like this bag because I can put a lot in it, but I can carry it on the plane with me, and I can also hike with it. So it's very multi-purpose. It's great because the whole back opens up, or there's compartments on the sides to get into. So first things first, definitely carry a laptop up here. Gotta work, gotta back photos up. So that has its own little home. Carry extra batteries, a lot of extra batteries in here, and memory cards. Now, one thing specifically I really want to talk about is, okay, I have a lot of lenses. So when I travel, I don't need to carry 7, 8 lenses with me. It's totally overkill. And one thing I've learned is that you get really distracted trying to change lenses all the time, trying to get the right lens on. So I try to keep my travel pack down to 3 lenses, 4 max. So anyways, here we go. So main camera I'm shooting these days is the Fujifilm XH-1, which I've been really pleased with, and I also shoot some vlog stuff on. I'm shooting on the X-T2 right now, so that goes with me as a backup. For this specific trip, I'm going to carry the 50 to 140. Now remember, I'm shooting a crop sensor, so this is basically like a 70 to 200. Has a polarizer on it. When I shoot landscape, I almost always shoot a polarizer. I really come to love it. Second lens, always goes with me. I'll never leave home without this. It's the 16 to 55. So this is kind of, again, it's for a crop sensor, so for a full frame camera, this is going to be like a 24 to 85 lens. I have a polarizer for this as well, and this always goes with me. Now this is a 2.4, so this works pretty well in low light as well. Another lens I carry, now I have a lot of prime lenses, but when I travel, especially if I'm going to shoot landscape, I try not to carry a lot of prime lenses, but this is one I generally like to take. It's a 23 millimeter 1.4, and I like this for when we're kicking around town, or just kind of for more documentary type style photos. It also works really well for night photography and shooting stars with the low aperture. Forgot to get to earlier, up here I keep hard drive. So backup photos while you travel, while you shoot. Memory cards do go bad, and it's never a good day when they crap out. So one thing I try to do, I also keep some headphones up here for the plane. A lot of times I'll throw a book in here as well, or a magazine, but I generally keep these in the top of the bag, so it's easier to get to on the plane, so I can get some work done, I can listen to music. I'm not digging through the bottom of this bag and through camera gear to get the things I need. Enough of is batteries. So in here, I carry a lot of batteries. I carry it for the Osmo, I carry it for the Fuji cameras, and so on. So I make sure I keep my Fuji batteries in this bag. My drone batteries can go in the other bag. I'm not as concerned about those, but again, the whole purpose I'm traveling is to take photos, so anything that is priority to the trip goes in this bag. Thing I use, I'm a really big fan of, which a lot of people are using now, is these Peak Design straps. So these are fantastic, and I have 2 of these in here. And they're just small, lightweight, they're not bulky, they're really reliable, and they have these little pieces that attach on to your camera, and these just attach on like so. What's cool is that you can put this on pretty much anything, not only cameras, and I have a lot of spare tabs that I can attach to different devices or whatever. Okay, so as far as my filter system goes, I'm running a Coken slide filter system. Now, I talked about polarizers earlier. I'm using Tiffen polarizers for the most part, some Hoya, kind of a mixture. But this is where most of my ND filters are. So I have in here attachments and mounts for all my different lenses that I have. And I can stack up to 3, I think. Yeah, 3 different filters within this system. This is really useful. Back here I have all my different ND filters along with graduated ND filters. And so far it's been a really good system. It's pretty affordable, and I don't have to worry if I break something or lose something in the field. Now you're probably wondering, probably keep seeing this green book float around. Now this is my shot list. If I could say one thing about anyone who's trying to start traveling and shooting landscape is, first of all, do research on what you want to photograph and where those locations are, and even the best time of day to photograph those places, but then write it down. When you travel to a new place, it's really easy to forget why you're there once you get there, because everything's new, it's exciting, it's just easy to get distracted. And so the worst thing about that is walking away from a trip and not having the photos you went there to get. So this notebook always stays with me in this bag. I can make adjustments to my notes, I can make additional notes to locations, but this always stays with me. Now the last thing, I always keep or travel with a tripod, but I put it in my duffel bag. And the reason is that I leave it in my duffel bag because it's easier to get it through the airport. When it's attached to this bag in the airport, it's really a pain in the butt when I get on the plane because it gets caught up on things, takes up extra space. But once I get to my location and I'm actually shooting, I will then attach it to the back of this backpack. But until then, it stays in the duffel bag. That's pretty much my setup for traveling to warmer climates. Now, keep in mind, I'm staying in an Airbnb for this specific trip that I'm packing for. So normally if I was gonna be camping or whatever, it would look really different. But this is assuming I'm gonna have a car, I'm gonna have an Airbnb to stay in. So I'm not having to pack as much camping or hiking gear. Anyways, if you like what you saw today, stay tuned, subscribe to my channel below. I'm going to be posting more videos here in the next week or two of some places we're going, and then we're going to be on the road a lot this fall. So be sure to follow us on social media at Clay Goswick. See you guys next time.